feel buried in junk mail and also paper scraps? I know I do. Anyway, I just wanted to show you one way that I use my junk mail and my scraps and put them to work for me, so that way I can reuse them again or repurpose them again. So pretty much this is going to be a stash buster type of video. So if you like that, then stay tuned. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these junk mail envelopes and I am going to take them, and they still have mail in them, so I don't want to turn them over just yet, but I'm going to basically cut off a very thin strip of the bottom, not the top where they're already glued down, just the bottom, and then I will remove the contents and I will be right back to show you the next step. Oh, also one tip that helps me when I'm cutting the envelopes is I just kind of take the envelope and I just drop it on the side, so gravity helps me out, and then I cut the bottom, just the very hair of this bottom edge I will trim off, and then that will easily open the envelope for me, so that way we can use it when we have them empty. All right. So for me, there's two different ways of trimming an envelope. Like I told you, just kind of tap it so the contents go down, and I'm gonna do the side that's the opposite side from where it's glued down at. So you can use a ruler and a blade of some sort, a craft knife or anything like that, or you can use a paper trimmer, but either way, you're just gonna basically trim off the very edge, like the very edge. I mean, it really doesn't matter on how much you trim, I guess, but you just want it to be able to open up pretty easy. So that's all that I took off right there, just a little piece. And then that way it is now open in there, and then you can take the contents out. So I'm gonna finish doing that off camera and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so my plan is I have this cutting mat and I have taken some washi tape and I've kind of laid it out in the general area of how big I want to make my my sheet of paper. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to take all of the envelopes from the junk mail. A lot of junk mail, I guess. Anyway, so I wanted to take all of the envelopes from the junk mail, and my plan is to lay them out. And I have seen this technique of, I think it's called crazy quilt paper or Franken paper. I think I've heard both terms or something like that. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. But I like the look of it and I really want to try it out using just junk and trash and garbage stuff that I would just normally just throw out anyway. And I want to use that and make something also, not only with this, but with all of these leftover scrap pieces that I have, which the scrap that I have is just piling up, because as I make more things, like, then I have more offcuts and more pieces just in general that I'm not doing anything with, or that are just so small, like I'm like, well, you know, what can I do with those? So I really want to utilize those and, I don't know, have fun trying to utilize those. So my plan is to make a big, like big enough sheet of paper that I can make a couple of junk journals out of. So that's my goal. So for me, I have set it at, I want my journal ultimately to be about 8 inches high by 5 inches across. And so I have mapped out this area, which is, I mapped it out at 16 high, so double. And I have mapped it out at 12 from here to here, and it helps that I have this grid. You can, of course, measure your washi tapes using a ruler and map out your little area that way. but I mapped it out to 12 because I thought that I would give a little bit of wiggle room for spine width later down the road. I'm not sure what I want the spine width to be at this point, but at least it'll give me some kind of room to play with. So let's get to it. Okay, so I have my envelopes. I have my little grid space. I have my little silicone baking mat thing that I glue on. I have a whole crap ton of cutoffs from other things that I've done. I've tried to keep it pretty much neutrals. I did add, I really wanted to go with some greens and some browns. So I just went in my scrap bin and I pulled out, you know, obviously ones that were from the same offcuts, or not from the same offcuts, but that I grouped together and just tried to find like pieces. Like here were two offcuts of the same type of pattern, but greens, because I think my next thing that I want to do for junk journals is I think I want to do like a green theme or a nature or forest theme. That's what I'm thinking. So that's just what I want to do. So I'm going to use these and I'm just going to set those aside over here because I'm not ready for them yet. And please forgive me if I'm still not very good at the video taking because I am a newbie still and I'm learning though. So patience with me, please. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of lay this out kind of random. Like even if I kind of go over the edge of this, I can always trim it later. So that's kind of what I'm gonna do. And my plan is to lay these down, kind of glue them to hold them like tacked in place, just enough on the edges of wherever it's going to meet, and then I'm going to sew it all together because that look that I was telling you I think I saw it at least one channel that I remember is Nick the Booksmith. So I saw her do it, not with the envelopes but with paper, and I was like, oh wow, I really like the look of it. So we're gonna go with that. So I'm gonna set that there. And like I said, there might be a little bit of overlap and I might have to end up cutting some down, give or take. So here I'm just going to show you a speed up of me putting this together in the frame. So here I'm just trimming it into the size and shape that I want and doing some tacking down. All right, so we have that. There she is in all of her glory. And I do not want to give a hoot about what side I have what on. I don't want to think too much because honestly, this crafting, it should be relaxing. It should be like a way to have just, you know, unwind, relax, unstress. You know, because all day long I worry about just overthinking really is my problem. And so I need to have time where I am not overthinking. Okay, so what do we have here? I have just lots of coffee dyed offcut pieces of various sizes. Let me see, and I have these. I want to use some of the greens because, like I said, I kind of want to do like a, I had a thought about, oh, that's kind of cute. It's like wood with a little heart in it. I like hearts. But yeah, I kind of want to do like a nature junk journal type of thing. Is my desire, my thought at some point this summer. So here I'm just gonna speed up this process of gluing down all of my papers. I'm mostly using Fabri-Tac and Scotch Create glue sticks. See, yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm gonna let this dry. And I'm gonna flatten all this out. Let it dry, and then we'll come back and do the next round. So here I'm just going to trim it again to be the shape that I want. And there's the other side. Ah, that's cute. I just noticed that it says, please recycle this envelope. Right there. And that's what we're doing. Oh, there's a little bit of habit going on right there. Oh, I just gotta stop. I don't need to be worrying about that. It's gonna be sewn, it's gonna be glued, it's gonna be used in a junk journal. I need to move on. Okay, so we got our rough size right there. And now it comes time for the sewing. So let me get everything ready and we'll be back. And this is what it turns out to be after I've cut it. So I just do a quick check to see if there's any loose pieces, and if there are any openings like this. You could either cut it or glue it down, but here's one that will be a junk journal. I actually had trimmed this wrong, so this is a little bit shorter than this one, but that's okay. And then there's this one. That's the back end. This one has about a 1-inch spine there. I don't know if you guys can see that. And here's that. This is like a little landscape junk journal or art journal. Then here's this one again. And this one has about 3 inches for the spine. But yeah, so this is using junk, using scraps, because some of these, like I said, they're too small to use. And I probably wouldn't have used them, or, you know, with best intentions, I would have tried to, but just to try to recycle and reuse. Hopefully you guys have a great day. We'll talk later. Bye.